This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. Coming up, dozens of stolen cars pulled off Portland streets in just a matter of days. Why police say this trend in crime is on the rise. Plus, from restaurants to new stores, changes coming to the Vancouver waterfront is breathing new life into that area. But first, let's check in with Chris McGinnis with a quick look at that forecast. Chris?
Good morning, Tim. Good to see you. Let's take you up to Timberline real quick. Hey, look, it's snowing. It's snowing hard right now up at Timberline Lodge. On and off snow showers. The snow will not be impacting the Cascade Passes, though, today. Snow levels are up around 6,000 feet. Rain is in our forecast. In fact, there's a pretty heavy rain shower now working its way over the west side of Portland. That'll continue tracking on off to the east, and there's plenty more where that came from. So the start to our Saturday here is going to be on and off wet here across the northern Willamette Valley and really anywhere west of the Cascades. Some of this rain is also making it over to the east side as well. Here's a quick look at Futurecast. I'll walk you through the morning here, 7 o'clock. You get a smattering of green on the map, and those showers continue working the way across the northwest corner of Oregon here this morning, and we'll probably be seeing these on and off here for the first part of our day. I do think they diminish a little bit this afternoon. Right now we're 53 at PDX, 49 King City. Big picture across the state. Baker City, one of the cooler spots on this map right now, 37. Pendleton in the upper 40s. The plan for Saturday. It's Saturday. Kick back and enjoy and watch the rain falling outside. On and off showers, mid-50s by noontime, and we'll top out in the upper 50s this afternoon. Tim, the showers diminish a little bit later this afternoon, and then we get into the main event. We've got a significant weather system coming our way tomorrow with impacts at the beach, here inland as well, with wind and rain and maybe some thunderstorms. I've got more on that in your full forecast in just a little bit.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Going to hear more about that for sure. We start this morning with car theft caught on camera this week in Portland, in Northwest Portland. It's a crime happening more and more in this area. Now listen to this. On average, 30 cars are stolen every day in the city, and police are just trying to keep up. Here's KGW's Christelle Kumwe.
Car thefts are skyrocketing in Portland, and officers say they're working hard to find those cars. Sometimes luck plays a role too.
And I just started shaking because I was like, that's my car.
Alexa Vandercook found her own Subaru herself. Someone stole it Tuesday. The crime caught on camera. Her husband's wallet was in that car, and the thief used his credit card. It was a blessing in disguise. Vandercook now knew exactly where to look.
I looked to my left and on Ivy Street and MLK, I saw my taillights. I was the only one that was going to get my car back.
Like a lot of Portlanders, Vandercook knows police are understaffed and overwhelmed. Car thieves know that too.
This is a major challenge. It's been difficult for us to address the challenge.
In September alone, 903 cars were reported stolen in the city, up from 658 in September of last year. But police stress they're working on it. Earlier this week, North Precinct officers recovered 33 stolen vehicles in 48 hours. Police were out again on Thursday.
They focused on a camp that was just off of Airport Way, kind of the 13800 block to about 146. And they found 11 stolen vehicles there.
Those vehicles were stolen from all over the area, from Hillsborough to Vancouver. Police stats show 77% of stolen vehicles are recovered within 30 days, with 89% recovered to date. Police say those recovery stats give them hope.
The problem is no doubt pretty pronounced, especially in North Precinct. So the officers are doing everything they can to try to address this and try to get those vehicles back to their owners.
People like Alexa Vandercook are just relieved to get the cars back. Her Subaru had some damage to the outside.
He tore off my license plate and had left scratches on my rear hatch.
And the inside was trashed.
There were meth pipes, there were knives, there were clothes, there was trash. It reeked.
But long term, her car will be fine.
I was very fortunate that I had found it.
A small victory that frees up police to focus on this frustrating trend. Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
Well, earlier this week, we heard from Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler about the gun violence plaguing our city. Now he's speaking out about the homeless crisis. He says there are just too many unsanctioned camps in the city, and it's time to start clearing them, especially those close to schools, sensitive natural areas, homes, and businesses. The mayor says he is focused on finding areas that would give those experiencing homelessness access to some basic services like toilets, water, laundry, maybe even transportation.
The goal should be 0 unsanctioned homeless camps in the city of Portland. Why? Because that is humane. Allowing people to live in squalor and to be victimized on the street, that is inhumane.
Well, the mayor's comments come on the heels of Commissioner Dan Ryan's plan for a half dozen safe rest villages. As the mayor points out, those villages will only accommodate approximately 60 people each, so there's a lot more work to do there. Well, a local band had their van and thousands of dollars in equipment. They've got it back now after these thieves stole it this week. Armando Cortez is the director of the band Grupo Nobles. His truck and all of the equipment were stolen from his yard on Tuesday. He recorded the entire incident through security cameras. Portland police tell us Cortez found the equipment Thursday in Vancouver, and he called police to help him get it back. Unfortunately, there's still no sign of his truck, but now the band will be able to perform together again. Well, the two sides in a federal lawsuit over dams and salmon agreed to take a one-year pause to find out if they can find a long-term solution. The basic argument is that the dams on the lower Snake River and on the Columbia kill wild salmon, and they're pushing them to the edge of extinction. On the other side, utilities argue hydropower makes up nearly half the electricity used in Oregon, that it's green, and that knocking down any of the dams would have disastrous consequences. Advocates on both sides now say the one-year pause in the lawsuit is a good step.
We see this stay as a really great step in the process, being able to sit down at the table and talk through in the next number of months what is the right operation for that river. That's the right thing to do, because ultimately what we want to do is balance the needs for fish and the needs for hydro.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee and Senator Patty Murray from Washington also announced that they'll study the question of breaching the dams and whether there is a reasonable way of replacing the benefits of those dams. Well, tomorrow, some Max line users are going to be happy. The line's getting back in service. TriMet finishing up its work on the Lloyd Max Improvement Project. It affected Max Blue, Green, and Red Line trains running between Northeast 7th Avenue and Northeast 60th Avenue. TriMet is thanking riders who had to change their routes or mode of transportation to get around for the past 2 weeks. Well, in downtown Vancouver, there's a new project in the works that will bring a destination district to the city right by the already bustling waterfront. KGW's Alma McCarty has a look at the newly released plans.
New renderings show a new vision for the heart of Vancouver's downtown.
Even though they're conceptual, but you look at it with buildings being filled in, it's like, wow, that's amazing to think that that area could look that way.
John Collum, an economic development manager for the city, says after careful consideration, they've chosen a developer for the revitalization of the waterfront gateway. That's what leaders are calling this underdeveloped area, shown here on the map, nestled between the Columbia River waterfront and historic downtown.
It's finally gotten to the point now where we think, since the waterfront is well on its way, the waterfront gateway area would be the next destination that you'd want to come to in downtown Vancouver about 3, 4, 5 years out from now.
The renderings aren't final plans. Those will come later. But Collum says they do have a pretty good idea about what the city wants out of the project. A walkable, sustainable district with mixed-use development so people can live, work, and enjoy this location.
It's probably more of a European style of development we're looking for, where you kind of walk down and you've got a retail street and you've got, retail or restaurants on both sides. If we can create an environment like that, we're going to have a very active district all the time because it's going to be designed like that from the very beginning.
There's still time for the public to weigh in with ideas in the first part of 2022. Collum hopes the Vancouver community will get excited about the future development.
Honestly, 4 or 5 years down the road, that's not that long to think about kind of stepping, out in that area and really enjoying it as a destination district.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Well, it is a big problem for pet lovers. In an emergency, you used to be able to get your pet care within an hour. Now the wait can be days. We're going to take a look at the big reason for the delays when we come back.